Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Spectrum Drama, where we take a look at the hottest posts on Spectrum for the week and give our opinions on them. Okay, so first up we've got a post from John Bradley and it says ISC, once again, visuals first, functions second. Now this is quite a long post, so I recommend you kind of read the whole thing, but so the gist of this basically is CIG are once again putting their emphasis on making the game look prettier rather than giving us hope that we are going to see some love for the ship experience. That is the long and short of what John Bradley's saying, you know, there's a lot more to this. If you've seen ISC you'll understand, but there is a bit more to this, but I mean that is the long and short of it. And I mean, do you think that, I don't know, sometimes it feels a little bit like they really want to sell the ships, but they don't really then want to think about them too much once they've been sold? Do you get that feeling, or is that just me?
It does kind of come across that way, doesn't it? I don't think that's really the case. I just don't know why they don't. They've probably got loads of things in the background being made. Yeah. But it blows your mind why they don't show the things off. All we, like John Bradley's talking about, all we get to see is, okay, we can paint ships. I know there's a lot of people in the community which are going to be really happy about this, but for me, I couldn't care less at this point.
No, it's not essential. You know, the flight experience is the essential part. Is that ship fun to fly? And if not, why? These are the things that you should be, you know, thinking about. All these silly little things that make up the vast majority of the game, and you know, once you're in your ship, if you're flying it first person, you never see the color anyway, so it's such an afterthought. And if it's funny, actually, there is a comment about painting your ships a bit further down which basically said, please do not make them paid for. They will be, probably.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, you'll probably get like the base colors. You'll get like, I don't know, a red, a blue and a green or something, and then they'll be like, oh, you want that special kind of blue? That's $10. So,
well, they did say that you're going to be able to buy these skins in game. Yeah. Which is the way it should be. But they will be paid ones as well. I'm pretty sure they've said that before, and I would imagine that's the way it's going to go anyway. Look into the future, CIG are going to want to make kind of regular income off of this game. And if people aren't, you know, buying concept ships anymore, once we get to that point, then they're going to try and monetize any kind of customization that they can, and this will be monetized. Yeah, it's just the way it's going to go. But yeah, why they're focusing on this now, I've got no idea really, unless it is just the money.
Maybe, yeah, probably. I mean, you know, it's one of those things where, like you said, they can foresee a revenue stream down the line, so get this stuff implemented now. Because whilst we're bored, that's the other thing, is if the flight experience isn't great and you've really got nothing else left to do, why not buy some colours and repaint your ship? Maybe that's their thinking, I don't know. It is possible. I mean, I would not put it past them to use some of the, I'm not going to say negative aspects of the game, but some of the buggier parts of the game, I wouldn't put it past them to use those to their advantage to sell more stuff, you know, because at the end of the day, we have seen that they are very, very much in love with money. And all the devs, don't get me wrong, the devs, they are passionate about what they do, and, you know, I have utmost respect for them because they are just making a game. But I think that when it gets a little higher than them, you know, really all we're seeing then is dollar signs. And I really do hope that, like you said, having skins that you buy, awesome. But yeah, don't charge me, you know, real money for like a red paint, because I'll come for you. Basically. But no, I agree, Lo. There's so much more to focus on than, you know, yeah, just the pretty stuff for your ships, and it's just a shame we don't get to see any of that. Cool, so next up we've got a post from Prometheus, and it says, CIG, stop with making combat spaceships, which is an awesome way to say it. Start to make I hate that word. Utilitarian
Utilitarian.
Yeah, utilitarian ships.
That should be the word, but
that sounds right.
Gone with that.
We'll leave it at that. Start making the utilitarian ships and vehicles, please. Thank you, please. I agree. There's far too many combat ships in this game, and we do want some of these big, awesome ships that are, sort of going to give us more gameplay. The problem is, and we've talked about this a million times, is that those sorts of ships are just harder to make. There's a lot more mechanics that go into making those utilitarian ships work, basically. We talked about the merchantman and other stuff, which is going to, give you more function on your ships. But I think we're a long way off from any of that sort of stuff. What do you think? Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty much on the money there. Most of the players, I would think, would want some more of these kind of ships. We've got so many combat ships in the game. It's ridiculous. You've got like 2 mining ships, a refueler which doesn't refuel, a scrap ship which doesn't scrap.
Nope.
And that's it. I think that's really the problem, is that they don't want to develop or show us more utilitarian ships until they've got more of the functions involved in the game.
Yeah.
But with no sight of when these actual functions are going to come into the game, who knows when we're going to get these ships?
Yeah, and it's a shame because everyone's crying out for stuff like this because don't get me wrong, it is fun to fly around the verse and shoot people and do some combat, but there's only so far that can go, and you really want to sort of start seeing the other side of this game, and that's the big problem. We're seeing like a 10% slither of this game at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's awesome, but we've gotten to that point now 7 years down the line where that 10% now just isn't enough. We need to just start seeing the next 5 or 10%, because it's horrible to say that it gets boring, because I think that's the wrong word. It's not boring, but I think it gets a bit redundant after a while. It's still fun to do, but you are kind of going through the motions a bit with a lot of the, if you do mining, if you do buying and selling, all that kind of stuff, you're really just going through the motions now, and that's a shame. I can't wait to see some new mechanics in this game and some big ass ships, big ass ones. Okay, so next up we've got a post from Commander Chip, and it says, "Dear RSI, please add a captcha to buy limited ship." And it's pretty much in the title. Please make this upcoming Fleet Week amazing. Please just add a captcha to the ship buying process. And the reason for this is because it allows people with bots from purchasing ships, limited numbers of ships, and that is a real dickhead thing to do. Basically, is to buy up a bunch of ships that people can't then buy. But I mean, is it really that rife that people are using bots to buy these things?
Yeah, I don't know. I know that there's a couple of sort of grey market sites which will buy a bunch of ships and then resell them at a higher value. I've never bought one. I will never buy one.
Yeah.
So I don't really, it's a dick move to use a bot to buy a bunch of ships. That is a fact. It's a dick move.
Yeah.
Let's be real. But if people didn't buy those overpriced grey market ships, then there wouldn't be a market for it.
True. Yeah, definitely true. I think that's the thing as well. I mean, this has always been a thing in every walk of life, in everything you ever do, ticket sales for events, basically everywhere. You're always going to get people who are going to take advantage of the system for their own gain, and yeah, it's always going to be there. And I think, if they block it, I mean, I don't even know do these captchas work now? We've had them for such a long time that, has someone not come up with a code yet that goes, "I'm not a robot"?
Probably. Yeah, you would have thought so by now.
Yeah. But I agree, I do agree.
I think he's mainly put this on because he's worried, for whatever reason, that there's going to be a capital ship on sale during the Fleet Week.
Yeah.
And this person really wants one of those capital ships. Personally, I can't get my head around why someone would buy a capital ship with their own cash. But that's just me. But the fact is that CIG have, if a ship is valued at over $1,000, you can't gift it to someone.
Yeah.
So that kind of quenches that one right in the bud. It's gone. It's not even a worry. But I mean, if you really, really, really want your capital ship, then I'm sure you'll be able to get one.
Yeah. I don't think that it's going to be quite as bad as other limited ships that cost hundreds, because it's a hell of a lot more of a risk for someone to buy 5 or 10 Aegises. Because you're talking big money, and that's a hell of an investment. And like you said, they can't gift them anyway, so it's wasted. They'd have to have multiple accounts, and then sell the accounts if that's a thing. Or oh god, if I just come up with a new way of doing it. Everyone ignore that if that's not already a thing. You didn't hear that here first. No. Shit. But yeah,
don't give them ideas.
Damn it, we were going to do that. It's just such a silly thing to worry about. But I understand it, because if you do get skanked out of getting an Idris by some douchebag who's got 10, then that is annoying. But if that is the case, then just wait, earn it in game, and you'll respect that ship a lot more if you worked for it. Yeah,
either work for it in game or just hang on, and I'm sure they'll come up for sale again at some point.
Definitely.
Just have to be quick on that buy button.
Oh yeah, and Commander Chip, I wasn't saying you didn't work in real life, by the way. I just realised that. I'm like, you work for it. But yeah, you get my point. You'll get one, and if you don't get one, come let us know, and then we'll do a whip round. We'll get the commander a ship, god damn it. All these promises I'm making tonight is terrible. Cool, so next up we've got a post from Lupe Snow, and it says, Anvil Terrapin, are you insane, CIG? Hello there.
Yeah.
I love that.
She says CGI.
Oh, he does say CGI. Well, he's worried that the entire game is CGI. I hate to break it to you, mate.
Someone might want to break it to him.
I love the beginning of this. It amazes me. Hello there. It's like, it reminds me to the intro to like some sort of comedy sketch. Yes, this is a screenshot from the cockpit of a Terrapin, and as you can see, it has 2 flashlights essentially shining in your face. Now, we covered this a couple of weeks ago, talking about lights in cockpits, but this is very much an extreme sort of example of it. I mean, why would you point lights directly at your pilot's face?
Yeah. I can't comprehend it. I can't excuse it. It's slightly retarded.
Yeah.
Now, please take it off.
Please.
What I would say though is about this guy's post. He starts off very polite. Hello there.
Yeah.
And then it goes downhill really quick.
What the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I'm actually amazed that this hasn't been moderated to shit, because if anyone is in our Discord, they will know there's been some really strange and heavy-handed moderation going on in Spectrum lately. Oh yeah. God forbid. I mean, and this, I think the problem is that this is poking fun or pointing out a flaw in a ship. This is not poking fun or pointing out flaws in CIG or CGI, depending on which way you want to say it. And so they'll just leave it alone. It's only really if you poke the bear that your post gets bit, basically. It's quite surprising. But I would say, Lupe, if you want to be taken seriously, I'd tone it down a tiny bit and maybe just kind of say your point. That's pretty much it. Don't shout your point, with what the fucks and stuff. But I agree. I fully agree. It's a stupid thing to do. And I'm sure they'll change it 100%, because, there can't be one person in the world who looks at that and thinks, that's a pretty cockpit. That's a pretty light in my face. Yeah, I love it. I love being interrogated while I fly. Okay, so last up we've got a post from Captain Snuggles. How lovely. And it says transparency and the Cutlass Blue. So again, slightly longer post. The long and short of this really is
the Cutlass Blue was on the roadmap, and then it was removed from the roadmap. And then we kind of got some small updates about it. Then nothing, and then it was released just randomly, even though the roadmap still says that it's, you know, needs work done on it. It's confusing, and I can see why people are annoyed, because, you know, it's always good to sort of see the development of these ships happening, and then all of a sudden they're like, it's ready. I don't know how that happened. They're pointing out possibly it's in timed conveniently with a sale or something. But I mean, do you think that's their plan? Do you think that's what they had in mind?
Well, yes. I believe the Cutlass Blue is up for sale at the moment now that it is released.
Convenient.
Yeah. I'm kind of with Captain Snuggles on the roadmap part of it, of his argument here, because the roadmap is meant to be hooked up to the Jira, so it should be updated when the Jira is updated.
Yeah.
But it's not, because if you look at the roadmap, it's still in development.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of kind of smoke and mirrors going on with the roadmap, which, you know, that's nothing new. We've known that for a while. But it just kind of proves the point that the roadmap is not as up to date as it really should be, or as what CIG promised it should be.
Yeah.
Now, while I kind of agree with his argument on the roadmap, it's kind of a bullshit point to bring out right now, because they have just surprise released the Cutlass Blue, so it might kind of dissuade them from surprise dropping ships in the future if people moan about it. So it's one of those double-edged sword kind of scenarios.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to moan about getting a ship, because we moan about the fact that we haven't got them. So then, to moan them when they release it because you weren't prepared is, you know, it could start a terrible snowball, which we don't want. We want them to give us those ships when they're ready. I mean, the roadmap part, again, like you said, absolutely 100%. And just to give you a little snippet, the roadmap data is pulled directly from the internal project management database. Well, if it is, then your database is seriously outdated, and that's worrying. Because what they're telling us is that, you know, the roadmap is as current as it can be because it is in line with their project database. So
the web of lies.
The web of lies. I mean, this is the problem, and I'm going to read this part because, again, I love it when people write something that I would have written myself. Please try to improve your community engagement. It is truly a shambles at times. Your sole responsibility is to be the conduit between the backers and the developers even. And that is well said. That's exactly the point that we've been making, I think, now for about 2 months. Solidly.
Yeah, give or take.
You know, is that we're just really, really frustrated with their communication with us. And yes, had they have maybe given us a bit of a heads up, it would have been nice. But that second point, you're 100% right. Please keep giving us ships, CIG.
yeah. I completely agree with his point. It's just the wrong way to aim that point.
Yeah.
Should have aimed it separately, apart from the Cutlass Blue. But there you go.
Yeah, there you go. And he does end it well. He says, end of the day, the sky isn't falling, but just an observation. Polite rant over.
Yeah.
There you go. So, no, that's fair. That's fair. So, you are right, Captain Snuggles. They have some serious work to do on their roadmap, because it shouldn't happen this way, but at least we got the ship, so woohoo! Okay, so there you have it, folks. That is all the posts for this week. We hope you liked them. We hope you found them informative or amusing. If you did like them, then don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Star Citizen content. And don't forget to get into that comment section and let us know your thoughts on these posts. We always like to hear what you guys have to say. So yeah, get down there, get commenting. And once again, just an apology for the odd missed Spectrum drama over the past few weeks. We've still had some issues working out timings and stuff with what's going on at the moment. But hopefully we're going to kind of slowly get back into our routine. So fingers crossed, we'll be back to week by week now with our usual content. And don't forget to come along and see our streams. You know, we stream definitely on a Thursday. At the moment, it's hit or miss with a Tuesday. But if we can, we'll definitely stream something on a Tuesday. So yeah, come and watch. And I think that's it. So thanks very much for watching, everyone. And we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.